because of copyright procedures here. Mr. Mayor, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How
Yeah,
you doing?
yeah, it's good to have you here. And we were just talking about the fact that you come here every Thursday, and you talk about a lot of different things here. And what's on the top of the agenda right now in terms of what's happening?
We just had a meeting on Monday. Good meeting, and it was the public hearing for the ordinance adjustment or adoption for the UDO. And so, as a part of the process, the city council committed to it. And, we've talked about it a lot, Gilbert, but
Let me stop you for a second and to speak to us in English, because UDO, a lot of folks don't know what that is. What is that?
I'm sorry. So an update to the city's ordinance, because there was no chapter that dealt with the technology of data storage or data centers. And so, and that's the same with all 9 municipalities: Spring Lake, Hope Mills, Eastover, Falcon, Godwin, even Cumberland County. No one had anything to do it. So Cumberland County's updating theirs, we're updating ours. And, but for some reason, a lot of the misnomers and bad information as we've been going through this process usually end up at the city council meeting. And we did have quite a few people from Eastover there who were concerned about the proposed data centers in their close to their community. And, what I explained to the mayor and to the mayor pro tem and to the residents that night, look, there's a lot more land opportunity in these smaller areas than it is in Fayetteville for 100, 200 acres. So you need to go to your town boards and commissions and make sure that you tell them what you want the rules to be in your community, because they don't have any rules either.
Well, let's talk about that one a little bit, because I've had some callers and people talk to me about it seems like a land grab by the city of Fayetteville, because that, and I talked with Kirk Deviere, that's Cumberland County area. And so what is being proposed is if a company, a data center, chooses to go to that location, that it will be annexed into the city of Fayetteville.
If they petition for it, the city of Fayetteville nor any other city or municipality can annex anyone. So they have to ask to come into your community. So a lot of times people ask to come into community in the Fayetteville, particularly for access to water and sewer, PWC. We have those infrastructures. Smaller towns and rural areas don't typically have it. And so that, again, I'm glad you said that. It's not the city of Fayetteville is out to grab land or to do this. This is not a city of Fayetteville thing. It's closer and more impacted to Eastover and these communities that they need to really get their ordinances in place to put the rules that they want in their communities. And I don't think they missed, I don't think they see that.
But it's not, I don't think where they're talking about is in the incorporated area of Eastover, just near it, because that is in the Cumberland County. So whatever ordinance is drawn up, that's what I'm going to say, that any ordinance that's drawn up by Cumberland County would handle that particular area. That's right. So, but whenever you talk about annexation, you talk about the data centers. Yeah. It's emotional for folks.
Yeah,
I mean, you just had your meeting, and there was a big protest outside.
It was,
and somebody was kicked out of the meeting.
Well,
what was that about?
We've had more public meetings and allowed more public comment than any governing body in town. County included. So we've been talking about this since April. Once a month, public forums, people talk about it, and we like to hear them out. What we can't have is disrespect. We were given the bird. The F-bomb was dropped this past Monday. People talked about that they work at various restaurants. They'll spit in your food if they see you're there. This is the kind of nonsense that we're just not going to put up with that, because a good citizen who's there to learn more or to actually express themselves, or people who may be there on another matter, the entire meeting is not going to be held hostage or disrupted by people who don't know how to express themselves. If you've got enough to say about a particular topic, you should be able to do it. But the council has been disrespected, and it's okay. It goes with the territory. But what I'm going to do is commit to maintaining order in the room. And so talk to the PD early. I always warn everybody before every meeting that you can't do that in here. Yes, you have free speech, but you can't yell fire in the middle of a theater either. And so there were a few people who came there for the purpose of that. And a lot of these people are not even from our community. People give you fake addresses, and I've been here all my life, and a number of people come into our community because this is such a national hot topic. And we've found that out by looking into some of the people who come in. But you're not going to come into our town, in our city, and disrupt our government. That's just not going to happen.
Well, right now, I mean, the move is on to delay the best way that they can. I mean, that's the tactic, because it's not going to eliminate.
Right.
These ordinances and moratoriums or pauses are not the precursor to saying that data centers are not coming to your communities. Right. Eventually, they're coming in one form or another. And I guess your argument, as many conversations we've had, is either we get on top of this and put ordinances in place and policies in place so that we have control of them. We talked about your visit up to Virginia and the conversations that you had up there with the folks who put those in. And I guess you learned a lot about what they wish they would have done.
Right.
And just give us an idea of what the concern was.
Yeah. Again, rules, laws kind of help contain and control in as much as you can. And so Loudoun County said that they have nearly 300. They have more than anywhere in the world, basically because they didn't really have rules. And so over time, they've tightened those restrictions up. And now they're at a point where they say we've reached our max. And so, you got to think about that in terms of anything. You have rules because you want to control it. Not having any control, you're not really going to stop the technology. Again, if you Google, if you bank online, if you do anything, you've got to put in a username and a password, which is almost everything. That means that technology is moving that way, and we've all got to prepare for it.
All right. Well, we're going to the data center debate is going to continue and through the process. Where are we in terms of the?
Last point. Yeah. There was some great information we learned from Virginia. There are 15 best practices that we won't include. We want to include a lot of them in the ordinance. Clarence Briggs, who's had a data center on Hay Street for the last 20 years, gave us some great information and things that we need to have in the ordinance for protection, and we'll continue to do that. And so what the council decided to do is it gives the staff an opportunity to pull those things together that we've heard and that we've learned, just to make sure that we have a tight, very tight ordinance. And then if someone chooses to do business in our community, we're going to make sure that they're a responsible partner.
All right, well, we can beat this one up for the rest of the time. I'm sure there's other things you want to talk about.
Well, yes, and so we received our year-end report, our strategic report from our fiscal year-end, which was June 30, and had some great information to show that over 45,000 feet of sidewalk had been installed this past year. That's almost 5 miles of sidewalk. So we're catching up and closing that walkability gap. Showed that miles and miles of street paving had taken place. So our street rating has gone from C up to nearly A. And then it showed that a number of businesses had received part of our program. So the things that we're doing are working. It also showed that our homeownership program is on fire. Nearly 70 plus people have become homeowners in our community over the last 18 to 24 months, and nearly $1.6 million has gone out the door. So we're continuing to do those things to relieve rent pressure and to build up the economic net worth of our community. So a lot of those things are missed, and I was a little disappointed. I joked Paul about it. I didn't see the ink pen come out at all until the controversy started. And so, I smiled at him about it. I told our team to email him those stats so that he can make sure that we give our community some kudos when it's necessary.
Yeah, and we had an individual here, as Captain Stephen Shakeshaft sits over top of you, over your shoulder. See him over there? Come on, you might as well come in if you're going to stand in the camera. He's photobombing. He comes in with his Dunkin' Donut coffee and everything, and just stands over top of the mayor and starts photobombing the mayor. What's up? Shakeshaft's in the house.
I brought a guest, so I didn't want to overload the studio.
Yeah, now come on and sit down for a second. We're still talking with the mayor here about life and how it all proceeds here.
And these guys, man, the phenomenal job that they're doing. I mean, the response times are well above national averages. That the ISO ratings that they have, them and the police department and the credentials, all of that was given in a recap. And that's the kind of thing that we've got to do to let everybody know what type of great community we have.
Yeah, I don't want to get you out because you were just now talking about the program they have, the assistance program, to have folks get money for a home, first-time homeowners, or but you've modified it because now it's not just first time. You have some people who have to get a bigger house because they got their starter house. Now they got a kid and a dog.
Or they got divorced, or they moved here from another area, or, it started out as people who only work for the city or the county. And then now we've expanded it to any local government or institution, including a hospital. Or if you work, or if you buy your home in the city of Fayetteville, you get $25,000. So that's really opened up the qualifications for it, and we've seen a huge uptick.
Well, you think a lot of firefighters, educators who need a little boost to get going and could make call Fayetteville home. That's a neat part of the program to have involved with it. Well, Mr. Mayor, it's almost time for me to give you the boot. This is my favorite time here. But look, we got the second team moving in. You're going to move you out. But, you're always welcome to come in a few minutes early. I was, kidding with Vic Frost that the mayor's out there in the parking lot. And he's hearing that I'm talking about explosive diarrhea with cyclopsoriasis, and he doesn't want to have anything. He's not coming in. Because anytime the mayor comes in and Shake Shaft, you know the same thing.
Me into
hey, I throw you into the fire. I say, hey, do you have explosive diarrhea?
Yeah, that was last week. I'm like, what kind of conversation to walk
I'm going to
into?
need you to submit that request in writing. I'll get you a formal statement.
All right. Well, look, Mr. Mayor, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Every Thursday, Mitch Colvin, Mayor of Fayetteville, comes out, and he does his thing here in Fayetteville. And he's kicking people out of the meeting. You come to the city council meeting, you don't come here throwing the F-bomb.
Well, I'm getting kicked out of the studio.
That's right, but you didn't even cuss. Get out of here. Get with the rest of them. All right, that's it for the mayor. Mayor's gone. We'll talk with him next week. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We got local news right now with CBS 17.
Good morning. I'm Greg Funderburg from the CBS 17 newsroom. Moore County deputies tell us one man